Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Mr. Siminya.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to the other commissioners. Today we're receiving the evidence of Mr. De Beer, and will be led virtually by Ms. Ranto.
Do you confirm that, Ms. Ranto?
I do confirm, Chairperson.
Good morning, General.
Good morning, Chair.
Are you going to give your evidence under oath or affirmation?
Under oath, please.
Do you swear that the evidence you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, General. Ms. Ranto.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, General.
Good morning.
Just before we start, may you kindly confirm if you are in possession of an affidavit deposed to by Johann Frederick De Beer in front of you?
Yes, I have that affidavit.
And you confirm that it's your affidavit?
Correct.
You also confirm before the commission that you have knowledge of the contents, or you have personal knowledge of the contents of the affidavit?
Correct.
Thank you, General. In paragraph 1 of your affidavit, you inform the commission that you are a retired member of the South African Police Service. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you further inform the commissioner that you occupied the position of divisional commissioner responsible for detective services at the time when you retired from the SABC. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then in paragraph 3, you inform the commission that the purpose of this affidavit was in response to the Rule 3.3 notice dated 20 July 2026 that was issued to you by the commission, and you further point the commission to annexure to your affidavit, which is JDB1. Do you confirm that?
I confirm it.
Perhaps if I can just also get you to confirm that that annexure JDB1 is in front of you. Is that so?
Correct.
Thank you, General. Now, I'll go to paragraph 5 of your affidavit, and I will read it out so that you can confirm the contents. In paragraph 5, it is stated as follows: I joined the erstwhile South African Police Force in 1966 and became appointed in the detective services environment 2 years following my appointment. Being a detective would later turn out to be my permanent career until I retired from the SAPS, holding the position of the Divisional Commissioner Detective Services in 2007. You confirm that?
Yes.
And then in paragraph 6, in my capacity as the Divisional Commissioner, I reported directly to the then Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Intelligence and Detective Services, General Williams, who in turn reported directly to the late National Commissioner Jackie Silebi. My responsibility was mainly overseeing what were then referred to as the specialized units and general detective components. The specialized units comprised of, among others, crimes against the state and serious and violent crimes unit. Do you confirm that?
Confirm it.
Now, just for the benefit of the commission, at the time when you were the divisional commissioner for those specialized units, is it correct that that was before the Directorate for Priority Crimes investigation came into being, what we now know as Hawks?
Correct.
Thank you, General. And then in paragraph 7, I will read it out, you'll confirm the contents. you deal with response to Rule 3.3 notice, and paragraph 7 reads as follows. Pursuant to the Rule 3.3 notice dated 20 July 2026, I'm required to respond to the following two issues, which form part of the allegations against me regarding attempts to obstruct the investigation or prosecution of truth and reconciliation cases. 7.1, the letter I addressed to Advocate Ackerman SC dated 26 September 2003, bearing the subject matter, investigation of TRC cases, and 7.2, my involvement in the alleged fabricated note authored by Advocate Ackerman SC. Do you confirm the contents of paragraph 7 up to 7.2?
I do.
In paragraph 8, it is stated as follows. Before responding to the Rule 3.3 with specificity, I begin by providing a synopsis of the events leading up to the letter being addressed to Advocate Ackerman to give a proper context on the issues raised in the said letter. You confirm that?
Yes.
Now, the next thing that you deal with is titled before paragraph 9. It is titled April 2003 Presidential Speech. In paragraph 9, you stated as follows. During April 2003, the then President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Thabo Mbeki, announced as follows during his presidential speech before Parliament. And then there's a quote. The National Directorate of Public Prosecutions and relevant departments will be requested to deal with matters relating to people who were unaccounted for, post-mortem records, and policy with regard to burials of unidentified persons. We would like to encourage all persons who might have any knowledge of people still unaccounted for to approach the National Directorate of Public Prosecutions, the South African Police Service, and other relevant departments. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development will monitor the implementation of all these programs, and it will report to Cabinet on an ongoing basis. You confirm that is the quotation that is in your affidavit under paragraph 9, General?
I confirm the Commissioners.
In paragraph 10, you stated as follows. Given the history of the human rights violations that were found to have been committed by members of the former security forces, the President's announcement did not come as a surprise. I say so because I understood that the recommendations of the TRC Amnesty Committee were to be executed, and the NPA was hence entrusted to spearhead such a task. Paragraph 11, with that in mind, I also understood that the SAPS had a duty to assist with the investigation of the cases emanating from the TRC process when so requested by the NPA to fulfill its constitutional mandate. This included cooperation between the SAPS and the NPA at different levels. On the other hand, I was also mindful of a situation where the SAPS would be the one leading the investigation involving most of its own members. This, to me, appeared to be a factor that could have informed the President's decision of entrusting the NPA and not SAPS as the leading entity in the implementation of the Amnesty Commission's recommendations. You confirm the contents of the two paragraphs that I just read out?
I do, Commissioners.
And then, General, if you were to give context to the contents of paragraph 10 and 11 in reference to the letter that you wrote, which is JDB 2, to your affidavit, the letter of the 26th of September 2003. You have the letter in front of you.
Do you have the letter? You're referring to the letter JDB1, no.
The one you addressed to Advocate Ackerman.
Okay, yes, I've got the letter in front of me.
JDB 2.
That's correct.
Yes. And perhaps if you have to say something to the Commission about what you meant in paragraph 10 and paragraph 11, give just a short summary of what you meant by those two paragraphs.
What I meant by those two paragraphs was that the then President Thabo Mbeki, directed these investigations to be done by the NDPP, public prosecution, etc., and that the SABC had a problem in this regard, not a problem, but SABC could not investigate their own people previously from the security services, of which of those people were still serving at that point in time, and there might still be loyalty among the other serving members. It also came up that that would be a conflict of interest, and we understood that was the reason why the President not directed SABC, but the National Prosecuting Authority.
Thank you, General. Paragraph 12, you stated as follows: in the ordinary course of events, the National Commissioner would, from time to time, interact with the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Bulelani Nguka, and his counterpart, as his counterpart to discuss issues of mutual concern in their fight against crime. On the same breath, I, in my capacity as the Divisional Commissioner of Detective Services, interacted regularly with the Priority Crimes Litigation Unit Head, Advocate Anton Ackerman, who was also my counterpart from the NPA, to discuss issues of mutual concern. These included the discussions around the allocation of investigators to assist with the TRC cases. Do you confirm that is your statement
Yes.
in terms of that paragraph?
Correct, Commissioner.
And then we proceed to deal with the next item, which is alleged political interference. You stated as follows in paragraph 13. Following a letter from Advocate Ackerman dated 20th August 2003, I discussed its contents with the National Commissioner. Consequently, I sent a letter to Advocate Ackerman requesting him to approach Advocate Nguka to seek clarity from the President regarding the investigative mandate over TRC cases. As clearly recorded in my letter, previous discussions on TRC matters had already taken place between Advocate Ackerman and me. A copy of the letter is annexed to this affidavit and marked as JDB2. Do you confirm the contents of paragraph 13, General?
I do, Commissioners.
And then, if I may again refer you to JDB2, that is that letter that I just referred I referred to you to earlier on. You see JDB2 there?
Yes, I do.
You confirm that that is the letter that you are referring to in terms of your interaction with Advocate Ackerman. Is that not so?
That's the correct letter, and was signed by me.
And then, whilst dealing with that, I just want you to inform the Commission if you ever saw that letter that you referred to, the Advocate Ackerman letter dated 20 August 2003, at the time when you deposed to this affidavit. Did you have, or were you in possession of that letter?
Yeah, that letter must have been directed to me, but I'm not in possession of that letter now.
Okay. Paragraph 14. Another issue that caused uncertainty regarding the SAPS role was the involvement of the then Directorate of Specialized Operations in similar investigations without any clarity as to how and which of the matters would be referred to the SAPS for investigation. Put bluntly, the TRC investigations led by the PCLU were done in an uncoordinated fashion and or haphazardly. Do you confirm that is your statement? Paragraph 15, therefore, Commissioner Selebi, rightly so from my very own point of view, needed clarity to be sought from the President as to who of the two entities was to be entrusted with the investigation of the TRC, given the sensitivity around such cases. This resulted in my communication with Advocate Ackerman, which communication has now been fingered as the genesis of political interference on the part of the SAPS. You confirm the contents of paragraph 15.
I do, Commissioners.
Paragraph 16, I deny that my letter was in any manner intended to cause any political interference in the investigations of the TRC cases. I further deny that I participated in any form of interference with the investigation or prosecutions of the TRC cases at any given moment. Paragraph 17, following the establishment of the Interdepartmental Task Team pursuant to the amended prosecution policy in 2008, Commissioners, it's supposed to be 2005. Yes. I continue to offer my support to the NPA towards the investigation of the TRC cases. This included assigning Colonel Louis Bester, who was working at CATS at the time, to assist with the compilation of the audit report of the cases in possession of the SAPS to enable the ITT to fulfill its mandate. Paragraph 18, owing to the limited investigative capacity at head office at the time, I also addressed a letter to the provincial commissioners requesting their assistance with the appointment of investigators that would assist in the TRC cases emanating from their respective provinces. A copy of the letter to that effect is annexed to this affidavit as JDB3. Do you confirm the contents of paragraph 16, 17, and 18, General?
I do, Commissioners.
You further confirm that JDB3 is JDB.
Is it correctly?
It's
Is
actually
it not
supposed to be
JDB
4. Apologies, Committee. It's supposed
Instead
to be
of
4.
3.
Indeed, we indebted to the chairperson. It's JDB 4, Commissioner. You see JDB 4?
Yes, I've got, but it's JDB3 with the
Page
alternative.
19. Page 19 of the bundle in front of you.
It's 19.
19, yes.
It's 19.
19.
19.
Correct, Commissioner. Got it in front of me.
You do confirm that's the letter that you authored that was sent to the provincial commissioners?
Yes, the letter was drafted by Commissioner Jacobs. That is the letter, but it's not signed by me. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe it was done electronically at that point in time, but this is the correct letter.
So it was done, compiled by General Jacobs with your instruction.
Correct.
Thank you, General. We can then deal with the next item, alleged fabricated note. Paragraph 19. The SAPS became aware of an article which featured in the Rapport newspaper published on 19th August 2007. The said article was informed by a memorandum or a note dated 2006, authored and signed by Advocate Ackerman prior to the transfer of some documents from the National Prosecuting Authority to the SAPS during or about 2004. Do you confirm the contents of paragraph 19, General?
I do.
Paragraph 20, it was reported in the report that the note in question pointed to the NPA's intention to pursue prosecutions. Commissioner, is supposed
Not
to be
persecutions,
It's
prosecutions.
prosecutions against the leaders of the African National Congress, now I think referred to as the ANC 37, for politically motivated crimes committed during liberation struggle. Among the said ANC leaders was the sitting president, Mr. Thabo Mbeki. You confirm that?
I do.
In paragraph 21, the essence of the complaint by Advocate Ackerman was that the note appeared to have been fabricated by members of the SAPS, who in the main recorded the date of its compilation as 2006 instead of 2003. A copy of the alleged fabricated note is attached here too and marked as JDB 4. Commissioners, that's the one that's now marked, it's swapped down, it's JDB 3. Now, can you confirm the contents of paragraph 29, General?
21.
I do, Commissioners.
21, no, thanks, Commissioner Gabriel. Paragraph 21, and then you go to page 18. Actually, page 16, 16, my apologies, General, page 16.
Put it in front of me, Commissioner.
And then the document is marked as JDB 3, it's supposed to be JBD 4. That's on page 16, Commissioners. Now, in paragraph 21, you refer to that note which you state that a copy of the said note is that one that is reflected on page 16. Is that not so, General?
Correct, Commissioners.
In paragraph 22, having been concerned about the seriousness of the allegations made in the report, the National Commissioner at the time, Commissioner Silebi, instructed that there be immediate investigation into the matter. I then instructed Colonel Bester to subject the note to forensic analysis and provide feedback in that regard. Do you confirm that's what happened, General?
Yes, I confirm, Commissioners.
Paragraph 23, to my knowledge, the note was subsequently subjected to investigations which revealed no evidence that the document had been tampered with. The said results were also shared with the NPA's advocate Leonard McCarthy, which event marked the end of my involvement in the matter. Do you confirm the contents of paragraph 23, General?
I do. I can just mention that the note was presented twice to external examiner as well. In both instances, it was the same finding, no tampering.
Thank you, General. Paragraph 24, at the time of the article's publication, the original note was in possession of the SAPS. However, it remains unclear to date as to how it reached the report. Do you confirm that is your statement in paragraph 24, General?
Right, Commissioners.
Now, if I may just in conclusion request the General to read paragraph 25 into the record.
Having said that, I wish to state that I've never engaged myself in any act or acts of political interference or otherwise with the aim of stopping the investigations and or prosecutions of TRC cases.
Thank you, General. Before we conclude, I just want to refer to what you stated in paragraph 6, reporting to General Williams. You spoke in paragraph 6, if you may just go back to paragraph 6 of your affidavit, where you informed the Commission that you reported to the Deputy National Commissioner at the time, General Williams. Okay.
Correct.
Now,
I will.
General Williams, before the Commission yesterday, testified that that letter that you authored, the letter of the 26 September 2003, that he was not involved when that letter was written. What have you got to tell the Commission about that statement?
Yes, it might be true, because I directly, at that point in time, was interviewed by the National Commissioner. I don't think Commissioner Williams was present at that point in time.
All right. Commissioners, that brings us to the end of the witness.
Your evidence in chief.
In chief, indeed.
Thank
So,
you.
Chair.
Ms. Moroka,
Chair, I have no questions and clarifications.
thank you. Anyone online? Mr. Vani?
Thank you, Chair. No questions.
Anyone online?
Thank you, Chair. No questions.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Vani?
Chairperson, we will apply to cross-examine Mr. De Beer.
Yes. And when will your application be filed, Mr. Vani?
Chairperson, we aim to file a number of applications this week. So with your leave and indulgence, could we aim to file on Monday?
Yes. On Monday it's a holiday, but
Tuesday?
this commission works even on Sunday.
I see. Well, we'll still aim to file on Monday if we can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Siminya?
Chair, that defers our questions to the witness until the application is at home. No criticism on anybody, but it would help because the preparation that goes into a non-event because of an awaiting cross-examination can be improved, we believe.
Yes.
General Williams, De Beer, can you hear me?
Yes, Commissioner.
I just want to take you to paragraph 15 of your affidavit. Are you there?
Just a second.
It's page 5.
Okay, I've got it, Commissioner.
Okay, and you've used the word sensitivity in this sentence. Therefore, Commissioner Salebi, rightly so from my very own point of view, needed clarity to be sought from the President as to who of the two entities, that's DSO and SABC, was to be entrusted with the investigation of the TRC, given the sensitivity around such cases. What did you mean by that?
Commissioners, what I meant was that it was a sensitive issue, I believe, for the police to investigate their own members or previous members. That to me was sensible, and that it would have been a conflict of interest at that point in time, because some of these members were still serving with SABC, and they had maybe friends with these people to be investigated, etc., etc. That's what I meant by sensitive.
Okay, so the conflict of interest issue.
Correct.
Okay, then could I take you to page 14, which is your annexure JDB2.
Yes, I'm with the Commissioner.
I'm looking at the first paragraph where the sentence is, "It is evident from your letter that the investigation and prosecution of these cases were referred to the National Director of Public Prosecutions by the President." Then the next question, the next sentence says, "Our understanding was that this referral was politically inspired." What did you mean, if you can recall, by the phrase "was politically inspired"?
What I can recall, and what was my understanding at that point in time, that the President took a political decision on his own, not to say SABC must not investigate, or the cases must not be investigated, but to get clarity on the cases to be investigated. That made, to my mind, a political decision taken by the President, referring it to the NDP and not to SABC. That
Okay.
decision wasn't taken by SABC.
Okay, thank you very much.
General de Beer, at paragraph 17, you state that you continued to offer your support to the NPA towards the investigation of the TRC cases, and that included assigning Colonel Louis Bester in the matter. When was he assigned to assist?
It was much later than my letter was written. Much later, but there was daily interaction. Not, I won't say daily, but there was often interaction between myself and Ackerman and Louis Bester with the NPA regarding to some issues. But he was assigned later, especially when I can mention 2004, I think, when documents were handed over to SABC from the NPA, he was in charge of those documents. At a later stage, I also interacted with Dr. Jacobs when he was a member of the ITTT, and that is a time when the letter was written to the provincial commissioners to provide support. So what I'm saying, there was ongoing interaction with the NPA. It didn't stop after my letter 2003.
Yes. Ms. Ranto?
Thank you, Chair. If I may just refer General Williams to JDB2.
General de Beer.
General de Beer. My apologies. General de Beer to JDB2. That's on page 14, General.
Correct, Commissioner?
Commissioner Gabriel asked you a question regarding what you meant by our understanding was that this referral was politically inspired. You remember when the Commissioner asked you a question about that?
Correct.
Now, perhaps if you may read further in terms of what is written in that letter, just up to the end of that entire paragraph, starting from as you know.
I don't understand your political. From your letter, it's firstly not clear why the DSO do not have a legal mandate to investigate these cases emanating from the TRC.
Sorry, General.
And,
Let me assist.
yeah.
Commissioner Gabriel asked you, read out to you where it starts off by, our understanding was that this referral was politically inspired. That's in paragraph 1. You see that line, that sentence?
Yes, okay.
Yes, I would just like you to proceed from where it reads as you know, up to the end of that paragraph, yes.
As you know, a large number of cases to be investigated are those of ex-policemen. It's therefore understandable that you first endeavored to have these cases investigated by the Directorate for Special Operations.
Thank you, General. Would I be correct that your understanding in terms of politically inspired cases meant, or the explanation as you proceed, as you know, a large number of cases to be investigated are those of ex-policemen. So that was said in the context of that politically inspired statement that you made there, or the usage of politically inspired.
That's correct and nothing else.
Commissioners, that is the end of the witness's testimony for the day.
General de Beer, we thank you for having come to give evidence before this commission. As you have heard, there is going to be an application for your cross-examination, and a date will therefore be arranged for you to come back to this commission for such cross-examination. For now, you are excused as a witness.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. These proceedings are adjourned until tomorrow. Yes.
May I interrupt? There is an application before you to cross-examine the minister on Friday.
Yes, can we dispose of this matter first?
Of the postponement.
Of the postponement? Yes. Then you can, I think you can come in, Ms. Moroka.
Oh, thank you, Chair. What I was trying to say is that there is an application before the Commission to cross-examine the Minister for Friday. I have had a discussion with Mr. Vani. He has submitted 443 pages of documentation. The view was if we were to go through all of that, then we would have to find a date for the minister to come back. It would not be fair or feasible for her to do so on Friday. It would see, depending on whether you grant the application or not, it would seem to us that depending on what Mr. Vani intends to do, if the minister is not to be taken through 443 pages of documentation, then the cross-examination can go ahead on Friday, depending on your decision. I just wanted us all to be on the same page logistically, Chair.
Yes. Mr. Vani?
Excuse me, Chair. May I request that General De Beer be excused
Yes.
in the meantime?
General De Beer, you are excused.
Chairperson, I confirm that I have had a discussion with my learned friend. The bundle is large. It was prepared in haste, and I accept that. Well, I can indicate that we're certainly not going to go through that entire bundle. I have given an indication to my learned friend that we will simply be making reference to one judgment and probably one letter, and that we don't intend to spend that much time with the minister.
So you will not go through the 400 pages
We
that...
certainly won't go through the 400 pages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ms. Moroka?
If that be the case, Chair, and I accept Mr. Vani's undertakings, you can't bind him to those undertakings, and in any event you haven't ruled on it, then...
Yes, I haven't granted
Yes,
an application.
Then in that event, Chair, if the application is granted, I would indicate that the minister would be ready for cross-examination on Friday.
Thank you. These proceedings are adjourned until tomorrow at 10 o'clock.